So there are two ways for training your strikers. Just like we did for the defenders, there are also two ways for the strikers. So it depends on whether your game is smooth or slow. If your game is very smooth, increase the speed. No, if your game is very slow, increase the speed to the maximum, and then you spend the rest on physical contact. That is if your game is slow lagging. But if it is very smooth, just increase defensive awareness. That's the trick. Increase defensive awareness, and I'll show you why you need to increase defensive awareness in this particular gameplay. So opponent is playing 4-3-1-2, and as I've said, if your game is very smooth, increase the defensive awareness as a trick. So what defensive awareness does is there is a string of movements attached to players with high defensive awareness. It makes the players move in a certain way, which is very beneficial for your strikers in order for them to win ball. So I'm using assisted gazer. Sometimes you see that your striker is standing instead of him going to tackle and win the ball. It's because your striker has low defensive awareness. So as I've said, if your game is very smooth, try this trick. Increase the defensive awareness. When you increase the defensive awareness, it's going to make your strikers try to go and tackle for the ball. So we're gonna see whether it works or not inside this particular match. Actually it works, so stick along and we'll find out how actually this defensive awareness thing works. If your gameplay is very slow, that one, what I recommend is increase speed and stamina. The reason why I recommend increasing speed and stamina for lagging or slow gameplay matches is because the speed doesn't work properly when the game is lagging. Okay, the speed doesn't work properly. There is some sort of delay. So if your game is lagging and then if you increase the speed and stamina for your attacking players, it's going to write off. By write off, I mean it's going to reduce, subsidize, downgrade the effect of the lag of your strikers inside that particular match. And I have a chance to attack right now, and you gonna see. Okay, I'm attacking, so there isn't much of the defensive awareness trick much in play, because when you're attacking, you're not trying to win the ball. So for the defensive awareness, which is step method 2, it allows the strikers to win the ball. In that scenario, I was just attacking, so it wasn't the result of me increasing the defensive awareness. The result of me scoring that goal is because I was able to give certain true passes very quickly. But here's the situation I'm talking about. High defensive awareness, this is because of high defensive awareness. The reason why I was able to win that ball in a good way, I missed that shot. The reason why I was able to win the ball over there was because of high defensive awareness. So defensive awareness doesn't only tackle, but then it adjusts your player movement. Okay, so if very smooth, increase the defensive awareness, and I'm telling you guys, you're gonna experience magic. And I've already given defenders 2 ways of training your defenders as well. One is by increasing only defensive awareness for your defenders. The second method is reduce defensive awareness all the way down. It also applies if your game is very smooth or not smooth. Okay, we gonna win this ball. Defensive awareness, we nearly won it. So defensive awareness, I'll repeat it again, it adjusts the player movement in order for the player to be able to intercept certain balls. You don't need even see this match it has started to lag. You don't need the interception and blocker skill for your strikers, but if I had to pick one, just give them the blocker skill. The blocker is more important than interception. I've talked about why you should remove the interception skill in one of the videos, and I've made a post on it inside the Telegram channel. You don't need interception skill, and we have a chance. Just double tap low, and that is a nice long range kill, not long range, short range kill by Safi Sahel. We are 2-0 up. Now move backwards, and the thing is, in previous videos we were using fist gazer, but inside this particular match we are not using the fist gazer because I can actually play without the fist gazer. Like if I'm dashing, sometimes I have to dash when I notice that the match is lagging and I'm dashing and I can't dash properly. That's when I use the fist kisser. But if my dash is working fine, see, I'm able to move fine backwards and intercept the balls nicely without the fist kisser, then I stick to the directional stick off. So that's why the directional stick is off inside this particular, gameplay. Directional stick is off, so you can try the methods I've recommended. If you notice that you are dashing backwards and your directional, like you can't be able to dash backwards fine, just use the fixed kisser, because the dashing is better on the fixed kisser. But the only disadvantage with the fixed kisser is that you aren't able to control them properly. Sometimes you want to attack and score some curled goals and stuff, you can't properly control them well. That is the only disadvantage. But all things being equal, if your match is smooth, you won't face this disadvantage I'm talking about in the fixed kisser. So if you notice the fixed kisser is giving you troubles, then you switch to this particular settings I'm using, that is off. So let's defend this corners, and that's an easy. Let's try and do a quick counter break over here and pass, true pass down, and then another true pass, and then another true pass, and we're gonna do a low range killer and very easy 3-0 up, 3-0 up. Let's see whether you can even make it 4, 5, or 6, or even 7. It's been a while I scored more than 8 goals in one match. All right, and then a true pass, and then we have another one. We got tackled by the opponent. So in this particular one, I'm using high defensive awareness for the attackers. In the next video that would be uploaded today, those players would have high speed and stamina. So it's just 2 methods: high speed and stamina, and then the remaining points goes to physical contact and ball control, or high defensive awareness and the remaining points go to physical contact and ball control. These are the 2 standard methods. And defensive awareness nearly made us intercept that pass, and we gonna shoot. Nice. That is 4. That is 4. And let's go back. Again, it's so easy once you understand this approach. This is assisted case. The next match would be semi-auto, and that is on offside. Next match will be semi-auto, and then the next video would be manual switching. So 3 videos today: semi-auto, assist. This is the first one, assisted. The next one will be manual. The next one will be semi-auto, and the final one would be manual switching. All of the guides are very phenomenal, so check out those videos. If you have any questions, drop inside Telegram group. Although I'm not active in Telegram at the moment, I think the group is still active. You can drop your tips inside the Telegram group and respect to what works for you. So this is the 67th minute, and nothing much is happening in terms of opponent is not really frustrating me. Everything is going according to plan. And then another true pass and another chaos shot. I was dragged. I don't know how the game managed to drag me back, but I was dragged. Okay, let's try and intercept this ball. That is very cheeky by the goalkeeper Milikovic Savic, and pass down. All right, that is a foul. Ref, just give this guy a card, yellow or red, whatever you want to give him. You should give him a card. Why didn't you give him a card? So that is 5-0. And can you make it 6? This guy has epic Schmeichel. Those epic players are just it's not useless. They're not useless, but they are a scam in terms of waste of money. You don't need to buy them, honestly. It's just a waste of money. Let me make this 6, and I don't know why he hasn't forfeited yet. This that should have been the set 1. That should have been the set 1, and pass through pass. As soon as I make the nice, that is 6. So as soon as the left winger forward gets the ball, I just do a through pass. Sometimes the center forward will run, sometimes he won't run. I can't control that run. It's predetermined by how smooth the game is. If your game is smooth, your players will be running in a very, very timely manner. So that certain things you can't control. And this is the team for this particular match. This opponent squad, as you can see, 4-3-1-2, very, very rich squad. And 89 minutes. So yeah, guys, I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.